Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. So today I want to be talking about retargeting because we all know, and you should know, that retargeting is the holy grail. But when it comes down to retargeting on your ads, I'm seeing a lot of you when I go onto the calls over putting too much budget on retargeting ads that don't have enough people within the audience. Because a lot of the time we're going to find that retargeting ads are working an absolute treat and they bring you loads more leads in and loads more sales in than what you have cold at the top of funnel. Not always the case. So anyone who doesn't have that, I know it's not always the case, but we've got to look at that funnel and why this happens, because it seems to be a really common mistake that sort of gets mislaid. So your top of funnel is where we're driving cold people into your warmer funnel. And what I mean by that is you're going to put an ad out there. Let's just work on one ad. You're putting one ad out, and let's say you're spending £30 a day, dollars, pounds, whatever it might be, and you're getting people, you're introducing people into your product, into your brand. Now, as you know, I don't like you using anything other really than a sales objective. And that is because if you're driving traffic to your website, even though we use the terminology traffic, I don't want you to actually use traffic as an objective, because that's just going to be bringing just happy clickers, we call them. People are just clicking all over the place. They've got no reason to want to buy your product. So we need to use the algorithm to bring in people that are fit for purpose and might not buy straight away, which we know that people aren't going to make those decisions straight away from being introduced to your product or brand. But due to the retargeting, we can get them to buy later on. So the only other case is video views. Now, one thing I do like doing, we see a lot of success for this, is doing a video views campaign where we've got, 35, 45 second, minute long video. And it's got to be a good video, and you've got to get those people hooked into watching the video. So your opening 3 seconds needs to be really crucial. Don't have like an opening couple of lines, go straight into it, hey, stop scrolling, whatever techniques you might want to use. Get someone, be really informative, and get someone to start interacting with that video, because you can start building audiences, retargeting audiences based on how long they've watched the video, as in 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So they're really, really good for then getting a middle of funnel back in to retargeting people who watch 50% of your video. And it's great for large budgets, okay? So what we've got to bear in mind is that, let's say you're spending £30 a day and you've got a sales objective campaign coming on, which might also have a video. So they're watching a bit of a video of stuff going on. And this can also happen when you've got large budgets, because at the same time, even if you're firing through hundreds of pounds at the middle of funnel, unless you've got it coming at the top, it goes again. So if you've got a lot of this is where I say, if you've got a lot of traffic to your website, so you're an established business, you're established e-com business, whatever it might be, even if you're going for lead gen, and you've had a lot of people going to your website, a lot of people watch your videos, you've got a lot of interaction going on. So you decide to build some audiences based on people who've interacted with Facebook, people who've interacted with your Instagram, people who've been onto your website, people who watch your videos. You're starting to create a large audience, or you may have already created a large audience of that. So let's say you just suddenly woke up and want to think, right, I've listened to a podcast or read some whatever, and you're going to do your retargeting ad. Now, your retargeting ad might go, right, I'm going to go to people who've been to the website or any of those other areas I've just said, and you're going to go back 60 days. So in the last 60 days, anyone who has interacted with my company, I want them to send an ad. I want you to send an ad. Now, what you'll find will happen is a really good quick win, because loads of people will come back to the site and you'll get some really good sales, or get some really good leads from it, because you're sort of putting an ad in front of them again that they may have forgotten about, but they were interested at one point, and you might be able to close them there and then. We see really, really good results. So it's kind of like a really good quick win. Like if we take on a new client or something like that, and whilst we're getting everything going, we want a good quick win to keep that client happy, because they're going to get excited about getting new sales and leads in. We'll set up like a retargeting campaign to everything that's been already going on in the background, and it works really well. What you've got to realize though is that, as let's say you're spending £50 £50 a day on your retargeting, and at the top of funnel, you're spending £30 a day. It's not going to take long before your £50 a day is having to show everyone or your audience again a few times. So what will happen then is you'll see your frequency going up. Now, when people say to me, oh, we've got high frequency on our funnel ads and our retargeting, I don't mind so much with the retargeting because it actually takes quite a few touch points to get someone to actually purchase your product. At top of funnel, if you're getting frequency after a short amount of time, it generally means that your audience is really small, and Facebook or Meta just hasn't got enough people to show it to. So you need to broaden that audience or lower your budget, depending on what you're going to do. If you're trying to scale a business, you need to find bigger audiences because you're always going to be wanting to put your budgets up. But when we come to the middle of funnel, you've got to make sure that there are enough people in the audience. So if you've gone to set up your audiences, and let's say Facebook decides, which I know it doesn't, it's a bit buggy, it decides to actually do the right thing and show you how many people in that audience. And let's say the total amount of people in the last 30 days has been 10,000. Okay. Now, if you bear in mind that it's going to cost you, on average, let's say it's £10, just to keep it simple, £10 will show your ad to 1,000 people in your retargeting. Okay. That means £100 is going to show it to all 10,000 people in the last 30 days, which means that if you're spending 50 quid a day, every 2 days, most of your audience, if not all, are going to have already seen your ad, which means you haven't got longevity there with your ads, which means that Facebook is then going to have to start retargeting these people again. Your frequency is going to go higher. The engagement's not very good, which means that your CPMs is going to start coming up, your cost per 1,000 views. Your click-throughs are going to go up. All your prices are going to go up. So whereas you started going, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm spending 50 quid a day retargeting people in the last 60 days, and we're getting loads of orders coming through. And let's say a purchase order, an average order value is costing you, I don't know, 20 quid. You could see that rise right up to 50 quid or 100 quid. It might be that you get one order every 2 days, which means it's on a £50 a day, it's £100 per order. So suddenly it all goes. So we'll deal with people who are just like, oh my God, it's all skyrocketed. It's because there's not enough coming in at the top of the right type of audience to keep the retargeting. So really, your top of funnel needs to be a higher spend than your middle of funnel. Then we're in the predicament of people going, well, I'm not making enough money at the top of funnel. And, we have that with a few clients. I think in the marketing world is that for every penny that goes out the door, we're wanting to see the most return back. So even if someone's got ads at top of funnel, they need to see a return there. And that's not always going to happen because people aren't always going to buy from the off unless the offer is really good. I've got a client at the moment who was dealing with this exact problem, and we're scratching our heads. Client's getting angry. It's like, well, what do we need to do? And it's like, okay, we're in a position to do this with this particular client. Is let's double the cost of the product. So they've only got one product, and to be fair, the product is at a really, really good, reasonable price. But let's double the price of the product to make it $150 instead of $80, so to speak. Double the price, and then let's give an offer straight at the top of the funnel for 50% off. So luckily, the product, you could sell the product for $150, and it's a great deal at $70. And it's worked an absolute treat there. Everything about the whole ad, the retargeting, everything has just scaled basically, and we're able to scale the costs, and everything's been brilliant. But we found that out in the last week. So at the same time, we've had to really reduce until we get this right again, because we did the 60 days, loads of orders, and then it started obviously getting higher in price. We've had to basically get the top of funnel right, so we're bringing in the right traffic. Even if it wasn't making a return straight away, we need to bring in the right traffic and spend enough money so that the middle of funnel, or the bottom, whatever you want to call it, let's call it just the retargeting, so that the retargeting actually has enough people to go to that are good, that are going to close, and are going to make you money. I hope that helps. I hope that wasn't too complicated. But remember, always have in your head, see it as a funnel. So you've got a funnel is a large place at the back, which gets thinner and thinner and thinner until the bottom where you have your order or your lead. Think of the spend as being the same. So you need to have your spend at the top because you need to be gathering people in at the right way. unless you can do a video views campaign and your video is amazing. So a video campaign is going to give you a video, let's say it's a minute long. It's going to give you really cheap costs to get that video out there, which is brilliant. And if people are watching a large amount of your video, which they are with that particular client we just talked about, where a large amount of people are spending, I mean, they're spending like $20 a day and they're getting thousands of people to the end of their video because it's a really interesting product that people actually want. And we're able to retarget those people and get orders. So it's costing us hardly anything at the top, but we're getting a lot of people into the audience to retarget and then make money off them in the retargeting. So have a play around with things. And yeah, I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.